Ed Willis, here we are again. It's been a couple of weeks. Can't say much has changed. I'm still
On top
seeking
of
solace in the
everything else,
backyard.
yeah. On top of everything else, the pandemic has completely destroyed the time-space continuum. And how many
Oh,
times do you ask yourself or your wife this question? What day is it today? Is
oh,
it
I know.
that day? It's crazy. Like, and how was your long weekend? Did you get out? Did you see friends? Did you have a lot of?
You know what? It's this dilemma. We were talking about it a little bit before we started recording. Like, we're trying to get out and, you listen to the medical health officer who says you're allowed to golf. You just can't go in the clubhouse.
Yeah.
You're allowed to go to parks. You're allowed to have a picnic, just maintain social distancing. But you go out and obviously the weather's been so great. There's people everywhere. So, we kept it at a minimum, dropped off some supplies for my dad, who's a little bit older. But trying to do the right thing. But at the same time, you're right. Like the days blend together. They really do.
Yeah. It's just, if I got something to write about today, please let me find something to write about today. No, you get into a rhythm during seasons, right? Whether it's hockey or football or whatever happens to be down the pike. But I got to tell you, I feel a level of anxiety in this job I haven't felt in like 20 years. Just on that, you're scratching your brain trying to come up with something fresh, something that's maybe a little original, something that has just a little different flavor to it. And it's I don't expect anybody to feel sorry. It's what we all signed up for, but it's a challenge.
Now, having said that, there has been some I don't want to say concrete stuff, but some more information on things that we've been talking about ever since this started. And one of those is we know what role sports could play in this for people. We talk about the days being a blur. Like, you're now down to probably your seventh or eighth new choice on Netflix. People could use some live sports. And I'm seeing some stuff around the world. The European soccer leagues are trying to make this call right now as to whether they should just void the seasons or play behind closed doors. I see the Australian Rugby League is starting up. There's some talk of the Italian league as hard as Italy has been hit, getting into it. But we've seen some stuff here in North America. Now, Donald Trump, I don't know if it does us any good to reference what he says, but he has met with the commissioners and expressed a need to have sports come back. Governor of California yesterday said he can't see crowds until maybe 2022, until there's a widely distributed vaccine. Dr. Fauci, you wrote a column based on his comments yesterday. Ed, where do you see this going? It's really clear we're not going to see people at Rogers Arena, I don't believe, until 2020 is long in our rearview mirror.
I agree with that. But having said that, there is such a tremendous will in certain very powerful sectors to salvage something out of this season. I just got off the phone with an agent who laid out a lot of things. I'm going to be writing about it for tomorrow's paper. But he sees the same thing. And this guy, and he's not, I don't think he's looking at this through rose-colored glasses, but he really does see the NHL holding some form of playoffs in a neutral site in front of empty stands. It's crazy, I know, but that's the world we're living in. And I guess they've made the calculation, they've weighed everything, and that beats the alternative of shutting down for another year and a half, however long it takes. That will is there. Whether or not that trumps, no pun intended, the advice of the public health authority or the dictates of the public health authority, that will remain to be seen. Sitting here, right now, that doesn't seem likely. 2 months from now, I just wonder. I really do.
Absolutely. I mean, one of the things that I look at here is if you, we can always blame the owners and the commissioners for being greedy and wanting money, and there's certainly an economic piece to that. And then you look at the agents part of it and maybe the PA, and you sort of say, well, wouldn't they be interested in safeguarding the careers of their players? You're looking at how do you get, I presume a lot of the players have gone home. I know that there's many in the States. I don't know if the Swedish players have gone back to Sweden or, Russian players have gone back to Russia, but you've got to get everyone in one place. They have to be a couple of weeks with no symptoms and be tested, have clear tests. What about their families? Agents typically play that role of looking after their players, but you wouldn't want to lose a whole season and your salary either. Like, what sense did you get from talking to this agent about, the well-being of his clients?
Well, honestly, I think you have to operate under the premise that all those questions, all 3 million of those questions, can be answered satisfactorily about player safety, about what it means to applying resources, potentially scarce resources, all those things. I think you have to start that all those questions can be answered, and then you can go forward. Because when you start answering all the questions, Paul, we could be here for the next day and a half. Or what about this situation?
Well, I got nothing else to do.
Yeah, exactly.
So once they start to build the giant plastic bubble over North Dakota.
Yeah. Well, no, they've got a name for it now. It's the biodome scenario.
Is that the name of the new Seattle team? The biodome?
Which just kills me. It's only been out there. Little Simpsons reference there. I'm so happy that the kids love that fresh stuff. No, that's it. That scenario where they play. There's just so many rinks available in Toronto. They have hotels. That's the one that makes the most sense to me. I'm sorry, I just can't see. I've been to Grand Forks, North Dakota several times. I just can't see the whole NHL congregating there. It's a lovely idea, and it's a fantastic rink at the University of North Dakota. I just don't see it happening. Like I said, Toronto, you could have a couple of teams in London, a couple of teams in Markham. You could probably have anywhere from 4 to 8 teams in Toronto itself. Detroit potentially in play, all those things. That's the one that makes the most sense to me. But we're just spitballing here. Really, all we have is this incentivized idea that, yes, we will be able to play games in the summer.
The biggest issue, frankly, if they do it in the Toronto area, is trying to convince all the broadcasters there to, not be showing us the Raptors parade and actually cover Columbus and Tampa Bay. We all know if it's not the Leafs or the Raptors or the Jays, I'm not sure what the level of interest has been from Toronto, which is another thing. I'm kind of done with the classic things, but showing us a rerun of the championship parade.
Oh,
I'm not. As you said, we have anxiety trying to find stories as well, but that's stretching it, man.
I'm sorry. I was invested last night because our friend Mike Hudson was actually on the game. They showed the deciding game. I think it was it 93, Chicago and Pittsburgh, and it was. So I watched just to watch Mike Hudson and his 2 shifts in the third period.
I'm sure he'll love you referencing that, but he does.
I emailed about it. We've kind of been going back and forth on it.
Yeah, he does have a Stanley Cup ring. 1994.
Yeah.
It's like the next. There we go.
One more than me. That's
like 4. And I have seen it, and he keeps it in his sock drawer. So there you go.
Yeah.
Ed, we'll have to leave it there for today. We'll get back to you. Looking forward to reading the comments from NHL player agents, and amongst others, we'll keep it going. Thanks everyone for listening.